This season on Who Do You Think You Are? 7 of the world's most beloved celebrities will embark on life-altering journeys into their family history. They will travel the world in search of their heritage.
Oh.
Family mysteries will be revealed.
I had always thought she was dead.
There's the only known picture of him?
That's the only known picture.
How absolutely terrifying.
And everything they thought they knew will be rewritten.
Oh my God.
This is a story that's getting good.
Yes.
Gettysburg?
Gettysburg.
That's history right there.
It sure is.
Lives will be changed.
My name is Lisa Kudrow, and I think we're related.
Roots will be discovered.
Amazing. It's incredible.
This is it. This is where it all began.
It all started here.
Because to know who you are, you have to know where you came from.
It's like learning that there's something different in your being than what you always thought.
I have found what I was looking for.
So do you know who you are?
Oh, I've always known who I am, but now I know more.
It's changed everything about who I thought I was. Everything.
Tonight,
Oh my God.
Susan Sarandon is on a mission to find her mysterious grandmother, Anita.
I think in those days they called them showgirls.
She was probably active in speakeasies.
We don't know who she really was, besides having given birth to my mother and her brother, and then disappearing.
I had always thought she was dead.
Her journey will take her to Italy, where she'll uncover the history of her Italian roots.
Oh my gosh.
And back to New York, where she'll discover facts about her family
Bigamy was against the law.
Mrs. Anita.
That would have to be her.
that she could never have imagined.
Ooh, yes.
Susan Sarandon is one of America's leading actresses. She's appeared in dozens of films, from Thelma and Louise and Bull Durham to Enchanted. Starring opposite Sean Penn, she won an Oscar for her part in Dead Man Walking. Susan lives in New York with her partner, actor and director Tim Robbins. She has 3 children, Jack, Eva, and Miles. Susan has a passion for her family history, but something has always haunted her.
I'm interested in what you get from different sides of your family. I've done a little bit of digging around here and there, but the 2 mysteries that I've never been able to solve are what happened to my grandmother, Anita, and where her family's from. She just disappeared when my mom was 2. And I've always been kind of the black sheep of the family in a way, so she sounded like such a colorful character that I kind of thought, well, maybe I'm not adopted, maybe I am part of this family. You know, there was something there, kind of jumped a generation, because my mom always said, you know, you're not anything like I am. So then I thought, well, maybe it came from my dad's side, but maybe not. We have one photo of her where you can actually see her face, and that's this laminated photo that it was from a newspaper, I don't know why. And she looks quite beautiful. I heard somehow that she was, you know, a bad mother. And then there were rumors about her running numbers, and there were rumors about her in a jazz club, and there were rumors, you know, all of these kind of things. I'd like to know some tales about what kind of people, what kind of stock I have in me and what I'm passing on to my kids. So I'm on my way to Virginia to interview my mother and find out what she knows about her mother. Pretty much everything that I'd heard about Anita, my grandmother, you know, she was presented as somebody who abandoned her children. So part of me was fearful for my mom. At one point when we were trying to find out more about Anita, she had very mixed feelings, kind of a push-pull thing, where she wanted to know, but she didn't want to be part of it. So I'm not sure what her state is now in terms of how she feels about tracking her down. I think it's understandably an emotionally charged search for her. It's such a strange thing to think that you could have children and then just never see them for the rest of their lives, that you wouldn't want to find out how your kids were. So we thought maybe she's dead. So, Mom, here we are. Gonna find out whatever we can about Anita. I'm hoping you have some information, because I don't have much of anything.
I hope I can help.
I hope so, too. Are you excited about this little adventure we're on?
I'm a little apprehensive.
Yeah, well, I can see why. I have one picture of her.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know anything about that? I mean, I see it was laminated from maybe a newspaper or something?
No. In those years, the nightclubs had photographers walking around tables.
Do you have any idea where it was taken?
It was either the Copacabana or another one of that type right at Times Square.
So she was a party gal?
Yes.
Was she?
Sure.
I don't mean that as a euphemism for something else. I mean, what was she doing at the Copa?
I think in those days they called them showgirls. They weren't
What do they
dancers.
call them now?
Well, dancers.
Oh, dancers. She was like a dancer?
Yeah, but they call them...
But not a stripper or something.
No.
Okay. Well, I'm
not
glad
that.
that we're figuring out, because I don't think any of us know, really. It must have been really difficult to piece it all together later. I mean, when you're younger, you're kind of...
Well, I always thought that you either had a father or a mother. But if you had two, that was just a luck.
Bonus.
Yeah.
Ah.
So I had a dad, and some people had mothers.
Uh-huh.
But I only found out that she was still living when I was 9 years old. I had always thought she was dead.
Really?
And then they told, hey, I may cry.
I might cry too.
No, they told me that she had died. And then when I was about 9 years old or 10, someone let it slip that she really wasn't dead. And, oh, good heavens. I mean,
We should get some tissues.
After Lenora found out her mother was alive, it would still take another 6 years for them to meet at the 1939 World's Fair.
What is it?
that's me there.
Completely distorted. What happened to you? Oh, you're in the funhouse
In the
distorted mirror?
It was like a three-sided mirror. Oh, dear.
Don't like to go back, huh?
I don't know.
So you just kind of lost contact.
Right.
It's so ironic that the one photo of my mother with her mother, just like their relationship, it's distorted in a mirror. And that was it. After that, she just disappeared. That was really a revelation. We found out so many things about Anita that I never heard before, and made me really excited about tracking down more bits and pieces. And I don't know, I'm starting to get a kind of picture. Pretty interesting picture. I don't think we're going to discover that she had a knitting club or anything. I don't know what we're going to find out, but I can't wait to get back to New York and start looking.
After meeting with her mother, Susan knows Anita spent some time living in New York City around 1939. She's here now to look for any documentation of Anita's life with the help of genealogist and family historian Megan Smoleniak.
There's lots of really interesting tales about my grandmother Anita, but I don't know the facts. What do we have here?
Well, when you're trying to find somebody who kind of went missing, it's kind of useful to step back in time and see what you can learn about their early days. And so, fortunately, your grandmother did leave a good paper trail. In the early part of her life, yeah. Starting with her birth certificate.
Anita Rigali, and she was born March 9th, 1907.
Yeah.
Her mother's name is Angelina.
Yeah.
Oh, that's sweet.
Actually, maiden name Angelina Buntori. Very pretty name.
Yeah. And the father, oh, they don't put the dad?
That's the dad right there.
Monsoor. Mansueto? And what does that mean, statue?
That would be his occupation. It's statues. It's badly spelled
Make
there.
statues.
And that could be useful going forward.
The father came from Italy. Probably the mother came from Italy, but any indication where?
No,
Not on the
unfortunately, all this
census.
tells us is that they were from Italy.
Italy.
Yeah.
The number of previous children, what? 9? We're saying now that Anita was one of 9?
At least.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh, but now, how many now living? 3. Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Susan Sarandon's grandmother, Anita, disappeared more than 50 years ago. But she's always felt a connection to this mysterious woman and the stories that surround her.
I only found out she was still living when I was 9 years old. I had always thought she was dead.
Susan's just uncovered Anita's birth certificate, which reveals that, tragically, only 2 of her siblings survived childhood.
I wanted to show you this. So this is the 1920 census.
Oh, there's Rigali, Rita and Anita and Joseph. So there were 3 kids living. So she was 12. And the dad, Mansueto. And what does that mean, W? Is that widowed?
It's actually, yeah, exactly.
Oh, so the mother's gone now?
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. So Angelina was already dead by the time Anita was 12.
Yeah. See, that's another element of hardship in Anita's life. She would have lost her mom probably when she was 10-ish.
Yeah. Oh, poor Anita. So after her mother Angelina's death, all that Anita had left was her father Mansueto, who worked full-time, and an older sister and a younger brother. This is my grandmother's marriage record.
Right. So.
Oh my God, does it say that my grandfather was 21 and she was 15 when she got married?
Well, maybe. Well, take a look here. This is the date of the marriage, February 1st.
1921.
And we saw her birthday. So in fact, although she's claiming to be 15.
How old is she?
13.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Ooh, that scoundrel. So she was 13 when she got married.
Right.
So she was already pregnant because my Uncle Bob was born just 3 months after they were married.
Yeah.
I wish I had known to have a conversation with my grandfather while he was alive. You know, what was he doing with this 12-year-old, basically? My grandfather was 6 years older. He must have had a little bit more of a clue of what was going on. You know, she was just a baby when she had a baby, even in those days. I feel really bad for Anita. Her mom had died when she was so young, and so she was really on her own when she got pregnant. She didn't have a childhood. I'm meeting with Mary Brown, an expert in Italian immigration in New York City. I'm hoping she can tell me more about Anita's childhood here on the Lower East Side and Anita's parents, Angelina and Mansueto.
This would be your great-grandparents' marriage certificate. They were married here on the 10th of October, 1891.
Does it have where they lived when they
Yes,
got married?
the address where they first lived would be 35 Madison Street. It was a very crowded neighborhood. It was very hard to get any kind of peace and quiet and any kind of elbow room. And it was very hard to isolate someone who was sick. So that place was a death trap.
Susan's grandmother, Anita, grew up in a tenement-style neighborhood on the Lower East Side of Manhattan. In this working-class immigrant neighborhood, extreme poverty was rampant. Living space was cramped and unsanitary, with dark and airless rooms and no running water. Disease spread quickly from family to family, probably the reason so many of Anita's siblings, as well as her mother, Angelina, died.
To see this tough, tough life that so many immigrants at that time had, it gives you a real sense of perspective. And I'm sure we could trace them back even further.
Susan's son, Miles, has joined her at the New York Public Library to find out more about the Rigali's roots.
We're going to try to find out where her parents were from, where Anita's parents were from in Italy. So if you put in Italian surnames map,
This it?
That means surname, so
This is the search?
try Rigali.
How do you spell that?
R-I-G-A-L-I. So try Bunturi. Your great-grandmother's surname.
They both show up in the same region.
Oh, my. They're from Tuscany.
That's interesting. West of Florence.
Okay, if the surnames were in Tuscany, I guess that's where we should go to see any relatives before they came here.
Susan Sarandon is on a journey, trying to answer the questions her family always had about her grandmother, Anita Rigali.
The two mysteries that I've never been able to solve are what happened to my grandmother, Anita, and where her family's from.
Her search has just revealed that Anita's parents came from Tuscany.
Oh, my.
Now, she's hoping to find out what the Rigalis' life was like there and why they left Italy for America.
I'm always happy to be in Italy. From the first time I came to Italy, I felt inexplicably at home. Now I know why. My gene pool is crying out. Toscana. See. It'd be great to find out that Mansueto and Angelini had a nice life before everything started caving in and all these children and hardships and disease and everything happened to them. I'm meeting researcher Cinzia Rosello at the Riccardini Library to look for proof that Mansueto came from Tuscany. So I'm excited to be here to see if there's any records of my great-grandfather.
Yes, we did some research, and I've done some translation for you.
Thank you.
That proves that your family comes from Tuscany.
Oh, Mansueto Rigali, yes. My great-grandfather was born at 2 in the afternoon on the 12th of July in 1855.
And the next thing I found is a record of a sort of conscription document.
Oh.
See if you can read something here.
Here's Rigali, Mansueto.
The beauty of it is that it gives us a bit more information about place where he was resident, where he lived.
Coreglia. Is that a street? Coreglia?
In small town. And in this column here, it says that he was a colono, means that he owned some land.
Oh, really?
Yes.
And he's only 20?
Exactly.
Wow. Well,
not bad.
That's interesting. When he got to the United States, he didn't have so much luck. But,
no?
No. But anyway, so he's only 20 here. Things are still looking up. He's got a little bit of land.
Exactly.
And so we should go to Coreglia.
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 Precisely. And you'll find more traces of your ancestors there.
Cinzia and I are heading into the Tuscan Mountains 50 miles northwest of Florence to the village of Coreglia, where Mansueto was born.
This is the church where not only your great-grandfather was baptized, but we found records of many more of your ancestors baptized in this church.
Oh, great.
Starting from this registry.
Ah, Mansueto.
And this says also the name of his father, Egidio, and his grandfather, Michele.
Oh,
yes. And then we go even further.
Look at this book. Oh, my gosh.
This is in Latin, with old ink.
1758.
This is Frediano, son of Giovanni, son of Michele.
Ah, so they repeated Michele. Very good. So going back,
So
back,
now
back.
we go
Now the
even
mystery,
further.
real mystery. Rigali.
Francesco, son of Michele, son of Giovanni Rigali. And so we can go even further. There we go.
Whoa. Oh, my. Wow. Back to Michele in 1640.
That's exciting. It means that you have very deep roots here in Italy.
It's unbelievable. The church records trace my Italian ancestors back an incredible 10 generations, all the way back to Michele Rigali, who was born around 1640, just 20 years after the Mayflower arrived in America.
But I think you have a very classic Tuscan features.
Really?
Yes. The colors,
That's great.
Renaissance.
Renaissance. Cool. I'm officially from Tuscany, definitely. So that was startling to be able to prove it that far back. It's gone from being something kind of abstract to being very concrete.
Susan Sarandon has always felt an inexplicable connection to her grandmother, Anita. When she disappeared over 50 years ago, so did all chance of knowing about her side of the family, until now. Susan's search has brought her to Italy, where she's just learned her family's roots in Tuscany go back almost 400 years. Now she's in Coreglia, where Anita's father Mansueto learned the statue-making trade. She's meeting local guide Gabriele Calabrese to find out why Mansueto left Tuscany for New York, a decision that would have a huge impact on the Rigali family.
And here we are. You can see immediately, look how many statues around us. The typical 19th century style.
So do you have any idea when my great-grandfather left
Yes.
here with his statues?
We know exactly.
Oh.
In 1888, he was one of the first wave of figurine makers that really they moved from this village to go to the United States. And we have the passengers list.
Here it is, Mansueto Rigali.
Exactly, Mansueto
He
Rigali.
was 32.
98 figurine makers decided to move to the United States, all in that year.
Wow.
And that is really incredible.
That's
if you
huge
think about
from
this.
a tiny village.
Oh,
right?
exactly.
Yeah,
That's really huge. And they knew what to do with their hands, like artists, a simple artist, but...
So they could be more confident because they came with a trade.
Exactly.
For more than 500 years, the village flourished as the figurines sold all over Europe. But by Mansueto's time, life had become tough for the sculptors of Coreglia, and news had arrived that in the land of the free, untold riches could be had. Mansueto was one of 50,000 Italians to cross the Atlantic in 1888. Between 1880 and 1890, almost 5 million Europeans left in search of a new life in America.
Mansueto was an artist too. I like coming from a family of people that were artists. But it's just so sad because they left with such hopes and, you know, they found such hardship when they got to this land of opportunity. I mean, it's great that they managed to find a way to survive, but it cost them so much. Mansueto lived until he was 72 years old, but his whole life in New York was overshadowed by tragedy. I want to pay my respects at the family plot where he's buried with his wife and young children. Okay, I guess this is where it would be. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 people, and they're all somewhere here with my family, but there's no marker. It's really sad. Anita's not here, so we still don't know what happened to Anita, but this is a family that suffered a lot. All these kids that died, and nobody even has a marker. I mean, it's almost like a Potter's Field kind of thing, where they don't even have markers. It's so sad. I should get them a marker. Poor Anita, you know, kind of like my mom, was used to having people leave her. I don't know what happened to her, but I hope we find out. If the rumors are true and she was attracted to show business, maybe I did inherit something from her.
Susan is going to Commerce Restaurant in Greenwich Village to meet Burton Peretti, an expert on New York nightclubs.
Really, the only picture that isn't distorted is this one of
Yes.
my grandmother that was taken apparently at the Copa, and I've heard that she was a dancer there, the Copacabana. I don't know if that's true. Can you help me?
Well, given her age, birth date, she was probably active in nightclubs in the 1920s, possibly in speakeasies. It's the high point of the nightclub craze in Manhattan. There are dozens of high-priced, dazzling places, charging lots of money, making lots of money, and of course selling illegal liquor. And it really becomes a magnet for young women who want to do well. The dancing, the singing took place right in between the tables.
So it's like their early lap dancing?
Absolutely. They would sit in people's laps. They would pop cherries into male customers' mouths, join them in dancing, put funny hats on them. It was very participatory.
This photo, we think, was taken at the Copacabana.
Mm-hmm.
So what happened there?
Well, that was one of the most popular nightclubs in Manhattan. Entertainers like Frank Sinatra were mainstays at the Copacabana beginning in the 1940s.
My mom's obsessed with Frank Sinatra. It'd be so great if her mother dated Frank Sinatra.
We have very little documentation of your grandmother in the nightclubs. However, we were able to find one document relating to her in this time period.
Oh, wow. So what time period are we talking about?
Well, this is from October 1932, and it is a marriage license.
So, oh, yes. Anita Rigali. She was 25 and she got married to Ben Kahn. And he was a salesman.
She was a homemaker, apparently.
Of course.
Which would be a change for her.
Wow, well, that's interesting. One of the reasons that we couldn't find her was because we didn't know if she'd gotten remarried or if she had a social security number. The number of previous marriages, none. Well, that's interesting. Oh, God, nothing seems to add up with this woman.
The interesting issue is, of course, was she still married to your grandfather?
When she got married.
Yes.
Oh.
We were not able to find a record of a divorce.
Susan Sarandon has always been mystified by her grandmother, Anita.
I had always thought she was dead.
She's learned that Anita was only 13 when she had her first child.
Oh, my God.
And she's just found out the shocking news that her grandmother had a second marriage.
The interesting issue is, of course, was she still married to your grandfather?
When she got married.
Yes.
Oh.
We were not able to find a record of a divorce. So it's really an open question. I would just point out that bigamy was against the law and it could be punishable by some years in prison.
What year is this?
32?
Oh. So she was still married because supposedly my grandfather didn't divorce her until after this meeting at the World's Fair, which was 39.
Oh.
So, who knows?
Yeah.
Probably in her mind, she was divorced.
Right. Well, in many ways, your grandmother was ahead of the curve. I believe indicates here that he's Jewish, and she was Roman Catholic. Even in the show business world, the mixed marriage was a bit risky to do.
That was a mixed marriage, definitely. In those days,
Yeah.
was
Mixed marriage.
Yeah.
And I think as we look at her life overall, she was taking risks, seemed to be very capable, and to
rather unorthodox.
Really, yeah.
I like that. Oh, well, that was interesting. So she married, not divorced, but married again, and to Ben Kahn. So now we could find out what happened to her as Anita Kahn. Since my son Miles was so helpful finding the clues that sent me to Italy, I asked him to come with me to the New York Public Library's Milstein Division of History and Genealogy. City directories?
These four?
I'm hoping city directories will tell me where Anita Kahn went to live with her new husband. Okay, so we're looking for Mr. and Mrs. Benjamin Kahn, or Ben Kahn, Benjamin K-A-H-N. They got married in 32. Here we go. So Benjamin, Benjamin. Oh, salesman.
You think so?
Well, he was a salesman.
He said he's on 74th.
All right, wait a minute. So that's a salesman, but there's no Anita. So let's look up Anita Khan.
Anita. Mrs. Anita.
Where is she?
173 West 78th, apartment 8F.
Mrs. Anita Khan? That would have to be her. All right, that's West 78th, but is this guy on West 78th?
74th.
And she's on 78th.
Mm-hmm.
So if that's them, then that would mean that a year after they got married, they're already separated, and she's on 78th Street. So I guess it didn't go so well again for Anita. The one solid piece of information that I have about Anita is her birth date, March 9th, 1907. That might be enough for us to track down a death record for Anita. Anita Khan, K-A-H-N. And
birth year?
1907.
And the 1907 is the 18th of July, so that doesn't match up.
We can look under Rigali. Maybe she went back to her.
If we just do it without a last name, I think it'll be fine. We'll find something else.
Okay. Well, we're looking for March 9th, 1907. Do we have that?
March 9th, 1907.
Anita Fiorentino.
Oh, wait. You think that's her?
I don't know.
This is Garnerville, Rockland, New York. Rockland is?
Rockland County is, you know, about an hour or so out of New York.
Anita Fiorentino, I guess, is the closest.
Let's see. When did she die?
1984.
Oh my gosh. If my grandmother was only an hour away from me for most of my life, I'll be shocked. First, I have to confirm the woman I found earlier is definitely my Anita. I'm starting with the obituary records at the New City Library in Rockland. Anita Fiorentino died Monday at her home at 9 Captain Shanky Drive. Well, she was 71. She was a daughter of, yes, Annetto and Angelina Rigali, who are both deceased. Yes, that's her. Mrs. Fiorentino is survived by her husband, Dominic, of the home address. Services and interment are to be private and at the family's convenience, so I guess she didn't have any other children. Well, she stayed with him for 35 years. That's pretty good, pretty stable. She was born in Manhattan on March 9th, 1913, but she was actually born 1907. So she's discounting her early years, where all her secrets are, Anita. Wow. I'm in my grandmother's old neighborhood. This is the house where she lived. No one in. I'm going to canvass the neighborhood and see if there's a neighbor who might remember Anita. This neighbor wasn't comfortable talking on camera, but she did know Anita very well and shared lots of information. She said they were very shocked when she passed away because they didn't think she was sick at all, so she must have been pretty spry. She had a garden out the back. She had a dog named Spunky. She had talked about being a dancer, had done something else in nightclubs, but she's not quite sure what. And she mentioned Frank Sinatra a lot. She said that Frank came up very often in conversations, that Anita had said that she got him his start. She said that repeatedly. I love that it was Frank Sinatra, because my mom was obsessed with Frank Sinatra, and I met Frank Sinatra when I was doing Atlantic City. Burt Lancaster introduced him to me, and he was a little flirtatious, so maybe I had some Anita vibe that he responded to. I don't know. Thanks for that information. I'm really excited because Anita's husband, Dom, has some nieces that live somewhere in the neighborhood, and I think they know quite a bit. We still have nothing except that distorted, freaky picture at the World's Fair. We don't really know what she looked like. One distorted photo and one laminated, wrinkled photo, and that's it. So I'm really hoping that they have some photos for us. Anita's been such a mystery. If anyone can shed some light as to who she was, I'm hoping it's her nieces. We're about to meet for the first time. This should be surprising for all of us. standing.
Oh my God!
Kind of. Hi, thanks for talking to me. I'm so
it's our
excited.
pleasure.
You can tell me anything.
We can.
Oh, yes.
Susan Sarandon is on the trail of her grandmother, Anita. She just found out Anita spent the last 35 years of her life living with Dom Fiorentino. Until recently, the only people Susan's ever talked to who knew Anita were her mother and her Uncle Bob. But now, she's found Anita's nieces, who she's hoping will have much more to tell her about what her grandmother was like.
You had no idea that she had had any children?
None.
But
Okay.
they had no kids together,
They had
right?
no kids together, no.
My grandfather moved in next door and he was 19 and she got pregnant at 12.
Oh my God.
And then the second time, like a year later, and she got married at, 6 months pregnant. And then we lost track of her. I don't even know what happened to her.
Our
That's
Uncle
incredible.
Don, we had met her in the city. He was in the Coast Guard and I guess off on leave, and met her probably, we heard, at one of the clubs in the city.
But,
So they stayed together for a long time, so it must have been pretty happy.
That was a good
They were very
marriage.
happy. That's it.
She loved that modest little home that you saw already.
Mm-hmm.
She loved her little home and her yard and was happy there. She was the bigger personality out of the two.
Do you have pictures?
Yeah.
Oh, we've been so hoping we would see pictures.
Well, here you go. This is me. Actually, she's holding me in that
wow.
picture.
Oh, Anita.
This is Uncle Donnie.
Oh, whoa,
he
handsome.
was very, very handsome.
Very handsome.
He looked a lot like Tony Curtis, really.
Oh, wow.
This is a sketch of her.
Now, see, that looks like my family. Oh my God, it's
could be
totally.
you. That could be you.
That's so
It could.
weird.
That's what I mean. I think that
Oh
pretty
my God.
scary.
I think I played that part in what movie is it? Front Page, I think. So freaky, because I wonder what Anita would have thought if she knew that she had a granddaughter that was on TV or in films. I wonder if she would have thought that was cool. But I'm grateful to have solved the mystery of Anita, and the fact that she was so close. That Anita was living, within an hour of New York was just crazy. She was like a spy. She had this whole other persona in life and history that nobody knew about.
makes you wonder.
Yeah.
Well, I think she obviously went through a lot of stuff when she was younger, and sometimes she'd just kind of stare at you, and probably was a lot of stuff going on in that head, when she would look at other children.
It's nice to know that, she was, your experience of her was such a positive one, and that she made your uncle so happy.
Yep.
Yes,
they had a nice life together.
I think the biggest change in terms of the way I saw my grandmother was just that as the journey unfolded, I became more and more compassionate towards her and more forgiving, and my heart just went out to her. On one hand, I wish that I had been able to tell Anita that, my mom's okay and that she has, a million grandchildren. But on the other hand, I think, well, maybe that would have been just too much for her that late in life. Seriously, her life is what great tragic novels are made out of, and she ended up living happily ever after. And I think that's pretty cool. Somehow, it humbles you to hear about your relatives' journeys and what they did. I love that she was independent and found her way, and I hope that I inherited some of that. I feel close to her and her temperament and her ability to survive. The whole story of my family I found so moving. there's always been this piece that we couldn't explain. And now my mom has some closure.